Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. There's been a lot of questions about what Marvel's plan is for the future of the Black Panther character. Who are they going to make the new adult version of T'Challa? Are they going to recast somebody? Are they just going to age up the young T'Challa Jr. character? There have been a lot of questions about who they're going to cast to actually play that character in the next couple of years. It sounds like we actually got some answers to what's going on with that, so we'll break it all down. Just because of all the upcoming new versions of characters that we're expecting to see through Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, and Marvel Phase 7, like all the brand new stuff like Black Panther 3 that's going to be coming after that, this new Black Panther is probably one of the most important characters Marvel has coming to the MCU in the next couple of years, next to the X-Men. Because we have the Fantastic Four movie coming up soon, we're doing the ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and just let me know what you want them to do with Black Panther after Black Panther 3 and we see this new version show up during Avengers Secret Wars. Most of the time I see people asking questions about Black Panther and Storm getting together, like now they actually have a chance that they can do that if they're introducing a new adult version of T'Challa at some point. But a little while ago, all that concept art leaked for Avengers Secret Wars, and amongst it was an adult version of T'Challa that we'd never seen before inside the MCU. So a lot of people assume that meant that Marvel plans to introduce him during Avengers Secret Wars, and then he'll go on to Black Panther 3, and he'll just be the new version of Black Panther in the MCU permanently after that. There are a lot of people that thought that he looked a lot like Damson Idris, and then recently during an interview for the F1 movie that he's in right now, kind of confirms that he is talking to Marvel about being that new Black Panther.
Next Black Panther. Have you had any conversations about that? Yes or no?
Yes, no.
By the way, the yes, no means yes.
That is exactly what you say when you're definitely in talks with Marvel and you don't want to get shot by Kevin Feige and his snipers. Based on the progression right now with Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, and Black Panther 3, it sounds like their plan is to leave Shuri as the Black Panther for Avengers Doomsday, and then when we get to Avengers Secret Wars, they bring back more multiverse characters, they introduce more really big twists, just because some of the narrative opportunities that something like Battleworld from the more recent Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars actually offers them, they can get way crazier with the story, and it's way easier to believe some of these huge twists, like an adult version of this young T'Challa Jr. showing up. And now it does seem like Marvel's plan is to, instead of just straight up recast a version of T'Challa Black Panther, they will just age up his son, and he will be the new Black Panther, eventually taking the mantle from Shuri once he is of age. So it's sort of Marvel having its cake and eating it too. Like, they didn't want to straight up recast Chadwick Boseman's version of Black Panther because they felt like he was so iconic. But it really does seem like Marvel has been missing, it really needs a traditional version of T'Challa Black Panther for a lot of the core stories from the comics that it wants to do, and that's why they're going to age this young version of the character up. Everybody let me know in the comments what you think about Damson Idris being the new version of that Black Panther. It's still going to be a long ways before Avengers Secret Wars actually hits screens, so it is possible that they could find somebody else if they want, but it just sounds like Damson Idris is definitely at the top of their list right now. Most of what we know about Black Panther 3, which is supposed to come after Avengers Secret Wars, actually comes from Denzel Washington. Thank you very much for joining the Spoiler Bros. Denzel Washington is going to be a big character in the movie. This is the clip of him leaking that a while ago. He said he got in really big trouble with Kevin Feige and Marvel for doing that, but he's Denzel, like he doesn't care about this. Like him being in Black Panther 3 is more of a favor to them than it is them doing him a favor.
After that, Ryan Coogler is writing a part for me in the next Black Panther. After that, I'm going to do the film Othello. After that, I'm going to do King Lear. After that, I'm going to retire.
The current report is that he's going to be one of the villains of the movie, if not the main villain. But the even bigger news is the whole reason why Kevin Feige announced that Black Panther 3, normally they'd wait to the last possible minute to announce something, is because he was actually revealing that one of his most powerful producers inside Marvel was actually leaving the studio, like was quitting Marvel. So it's an absolutely wild way to announce your next biggest movie that's coming out as part of like this really huge franchise that's earned you so much money. It'd be like Kevin Feige talking about bringing Daredevil and Kingpin back, and within that, like a couple minutes into his conversation was like, oh, and by the way, we're also going to be doing Spider-Man 4. Daredevil's probably going to be in that movie too. Like, wait a minute, we have so many more questions now. The producer who quit Marvel is Nate Moore. He's been like Kevin Feige's second in command for a long time, like one of the most powerful producers at Marvel since back in Marvel Phase 1. He didn't really become a huge person inside the Marvel eco-structure till like Marvel Phase 2 though, on the Captain America movies. But one of the upcoming movies that Nate Moore was attached to was the Iron Man Armor Wars movie. So it sounds like some of his future projects at Marvel did get canceled just because so many movies and TV shows got suddenly canceled when Marvel pulled way back to do more quality control. And typically when a producer this big, earning this much money, doing this well at a big studio like Marvel leaves, is for a couple different reasons. He hits a ceiling just in terms of authority, control that he has over the actual movies that he works on, because Kevin Feige is always going to be the boss at Marvel. Like, you're never going to get promoted above Kevin Feige. Some of the projects that he was working on got canceled, so like he doesn't have projects that are coming up after Black Panther 3. And just in general, he wants to start working on non-Marvel movies that are truly his own projects that he has total control over. There's also a bit of a money factor here in play too. Like, it always comes back to money too. When you're working on your own projects you have total control over, typically they earn more money on those projects than the people working under Kevin Feige at Marvel. Kevin Feige said that there's no bad blood with him actually leaving the studio, and he's still going to be doing Black Panther 3 with them, even though by the time they start filming, he'll have left Marvel for a couple years. So there's no big conspiracy or anything like that. Like, it's a very standard Hollywood situation, even with non-big comic book movie franchises.
Why was Thor crying?
Even though Vision seemed like he destroyed Ultron at the end of Age of Ultron, Ultron is not dead. Like, his code still exists. It's just dormant right now. So part of that movie would have been like the return of Ultron, but a lot of that plot now, because it's been a canceled movie, they've also incorporated into the brand new Vision TV series that we'll see episodes for in 2026. They literally just announced that James Spader is coming back as Ultron during that. Nate Moore isn't listed on the Black Panther TV series Eyes of Wakanda, but that's not really critical to the plot of Black Panther 3. I'll talk about that TV series later in this video because we'll get episodes for that during 2025 next year. The bigger news behind the scenes, and I think this gets back to everybody wanting them to recast Black Panther with like a new version of T'Challa, is that because Kevin Feige and Marvel are letting Ryan Coogler take as much time as he wants to actually write Black Panther 3, now it's not going to come out till after Secret Wars. So I would say earliest we see that movie is going to be in 2027. Remember, Secret Wars is supposed to come out in May 2027, so like any of the dates later in the year right after that. Meaning that would be released in sort of like the reboot era of the MCU because they're using Secret Wars to do like a soft reboot, recast actors that they want to, change backstories, so that just everything exists on the same Earth in the same universe and it all makes sense going forward. You don't need like 10 different universes to explain where all these different characters come from. So there are a couple of things that Marvel can do now with the plot of Black Panther 3 that they couldn't do before when they were originally going to release Black Panther 3 before Secret Wars. They can either age up the young T'Challa Jr. and make him the new Black Panther by the end of Black Panther 3 and then going into Black Panther 4, just because they will make a billion Black Panther movies till the heat death of the universe. Or they can just use this as an opportunity to recast T'Challa because we're probably going to see a multiverse version of T'Challa Black Panther in Secret Wars. Like somebody like Kilmonger will come from another universe and he'll be Black Panther from that universe. Either way, just expect to see multiverse Black Panthers in the next couple years with the next couple Avengers movies. But I do think that Marvel has wanted to do more of the traditional big Black Panther stories from the comics and make them more comic book accurate. It's just that the past couple of years, they've had a big problem doing that with Chadwick Boseman passing away and then them having to pivot to Shuri Black Panther. So I think likely Shuri will be the main Black Panther at the beginning of Black Panther 3. Then by the end of that movie, she will have given up the mantle. And it'll either be a recast version of T'Challa that shows up, or it'll be the younger T'Challa Jr. who they've aged up to the point where he can actually take the mantle. This was the big arc that Ryan Coogler said that he wanted to tell with the Black Panther stories that they'll likely incorporate to Black Panther 3. The thing about that story is that he doesn't need to make T'Challa Jr. the new Black Panther yet in order to tell that, but it makes more sense if he is the new Black Panther, so we'll see how that all plays out. And at least the way things are shaping up, post-Secret Wars, they're focusing less on multiverse aspects. I think Black Panther 3 is also meant to be more of an Earth-based MCU movie with not a lot of multiverse elements. More like Captain America Brave New World is more of an Earth-based movie, as opposed to something like Deadpool and Wolverine, which is like full-on multiverse. Generally, I think they're taking that Deadpool joke to heart, where like people are slowly getting tired of the multiverse story of it all, and they want to just get back to more core MCU stories. Which is also why I don't think that Denzel Washington's villain will be a multiverse villain. He'll be somebody from the MCU who they just haven't done yet from the comics, or a spin on a comic book villain that they just changed for the course of the movie. So for everybody that wants to see Black Panther, for instance, get together with Storm inside the MCU in live action, they can actually do that in Black Panther 3, now that after that we'll be doing a whole bunch of X-Men stuff. But that would be like a Black Panther 4 kind of twist. When it comes to that Black Panther TV series, that's mostly meant to be an animated series about the Hatut Zeraze going around the world to try and protect vibranium from different villains across different eras. So the opportunity there is that we see different versions of Black Panther across ancient history. We're also supposed to see an ancient version of Iron Fist, but I'll do more videos about that when we actually get more details. Ryan Coogler is also executive producer on the Ironheart series. They're basically binge dropping that in 2 different weeks. There'll be 6 episodes across 2 weeks. I'll do at least 1 video for each of the dumps of episodes that they do. I'll try to post that stuff as fast as possible, so be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss anything. Everybody click here for that brand new Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom teaser, and click here for all my other Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.